Hello, my fellow nerds, and welcome to the Nerd Empire. I hope you all are having a fantastic day today, and I hope you all will enjoy today's reaction video. With that being said, let's get right into it, shall we? Alright, like I said, this one's by asmongold. It's, now they want gamers arrested. So let's see what he has to say in this one.
They trying to arrest anybody who says negative shit about them. Remember that group of annoying ass bitches in Australia that tried to get video games, like Steam, to get rid of video games because they were fucking bored? Well, they've been getting a little bit of pushback, and now they want gamers arrested. Big surprise, huh? Collective shout? Yes. Collective Karens.
You're a gamer. You play games.
Yep.
But what if a group of people decided that your hobby was a crime? What if they wanted to use police, even international police, to come after you just for disagreeing with them? That's not a joke.
This wouldn't be the first time that games have gotten, involved in the law. I mean, the first ever time was when was because of the ERB. I think it's the ERB. System got implemented, and it was all because of a singular video game, and it was I can't remember what the video game was called, but it was one of those movie style video games where they got actual real actors and acted out specific movie scenes within the game. So you'd make a choice, and then these actors would act out the actual scene. It's that old 80s or 90s type of movie video game. I don't know the type of genre that game is called, but it was a specific game because of that got the ERB system. I think it's not ERB. Is it ERB? The rating system for video games. I forget what it's fucking called. But it's because of that game that got in trouble with the law, and then they decided to come up with a rating system. And then the next time it was because of Mortal Kombat, and then so on and so forth.
It's happening right now, and it's all thanks to a group called Collective Shout, who are trying to get anyone who stands against them arrested.
That's
Meet
right.
Collective Shout, an Australian group that
And by the way, this won't work. The more that you get upset, the more that people will want to bully and attack you. This is something like I think that a lot of these people, generally, I think that especially certain types of women on the internet assume that playing the victim will just get people to defend them, and to a certain extent it will. But what I don't think that they understand is that it also means that you're bleeding. And if you can bleed, if it bleeds, we can kill it. As soon as people realize that they can get to you, and you show that it gets to you, you're done. You're cooked. Yep. Bully logic? Yep, exactly. It's afraid? Yes.
They didn't.
The other thing is you can't just tell people that they can't criticize and downvote a game that they don't like. Everyone is allowed to criticize a game. If you can't learn to take criticism from the game that you made, or you've published, or you've helped put out there, or anything, you shouldn't be on the internet. This is the internet. If it's on the internet, something is going to get talked about, something is going to happen, and so on and so forth. Funny enough, Collective Shout got the mob rules. They blamed men. Yeah. Well, like they showed, the Collective Shout is just a bunch of fucking Karens. And if you're going to act like this on the internet, you have to understand that you're going to get attacked for it. People are going to comment on it. People are going to say shit. They're going to come after you. The internet is not a safe space. No matter what people say, no matter what people do, no matter how much you try and censor it, it is not a safe place, nor will it ever be a safe place. Because people can say anything they want, and they won't have to worry about people knowing that they said it. They're saying it behind a screen. They're essentially going out in public with a mask and a shroud, saying what they want, and then disappearing and nobody knows who it was.
Like some of the games on platforms like Steam and itch.io.
Exactly.
So what did they do after Gaben wouldn't listen to their complaints? They went after the money. They sent a letter to major payment companies like PayPal and MasterCard demanding they stop working with these game stores.
Oh, yep. I've heard about this, where they've also tried to go after adult games on Steam, and they went after adult games, hentai games, you know, all these sexual games that are on Steam and itch.io and other platforms as well. They went after Visa and MasterCard and all them to have them stop, to help them get rid of these games off the platforms. And, you know, you can't really do that. As much as a lot of people don't like these adult or hentai games, they have every right to be on these platforms. Every right to be on the platform. And when a woman speaked out, they made fake users to smear her reputation. Well, they accomplished their goal to an extent, but they also got a shit ton of backlash. You could go on Steam right now, and there's still a shit ton of adult games. They didn't fully... They got some games off, but they didn't get all the adult games or hentai games off there. They're still there. Hell, I still have some in my library that I could still play, and I could still re-download and play. I can go on web browsers and play the Flash games. They're never going to stop this stuff. They have every right to be on there.
Their argument was that some of the games had extreme content, framing it as illegal and that it should be removed. The thing is, it worked. The payment companies gave in. They told the game
It's
stores
worked previously with other things too. Large groups of bored middle-aged women that have lingering resentment towards men because their husband doesn't like them anymore because they're fat are probably the greatest threat to Western society that we have right now. They're worse than Hamas. They're worse than Russia. They're worse than, you know, any like African warlord. They're worse than MS-13. They are the prime.
Also, Steam removed some of my R18 collection, my carefully curated collection. I'd have to go on to see if some of the ones that there are some that I have that I refuse to play anymore because they were just that bad. But I probably still have a few.
I'm evil.
clean up their act or they would lose service. The game platforms removed thousands of titles to make sure that they fell in line with these financial companies' rules.
Within.
This
Yes.
response not only hurt the players of these games, it also caused financial damage to real people, including the thousands of developers who spent countless hours on the art and game development.
I think it's really sad that a lot of these companies give in to these people just because they feel offended by the game or they got their little feelings hurt. It's like, why are you giving in to these collective dumb shits? These people who have an IQ of an apple. So what if these people get offended? So what if your feelings are hurt? Boo fucking who? It is a game. Does it hurt how you go about your daily life? No. Does it hurt how does it hurt in what you believe in? No, it doesn't. Does it hurt any aspect of your life? No. It doesn't do anything other than bruise your little fucking stupid ass ego. It is so fucking stupid. These companies need to stop giving in to people just because a very few minority of people are shouting at them saying, "Get this off because it hurts my feelings because it's offensive." The thing is, if you don't want to be offended, go live in the forest. Well, even then, some people who go to the forest are probably going to be offended by a tree.
course.
It wasn't only that though. One of PayPal's largest acquiring banks terminated its service with Steam in every currency
Ooh.
other than 6. So now it's no longer just about adult games. Nearly every single person on the platform is now directly affected. Also, when a bank terminates its service with a merchant, they report it to the match list. We covered it in our previous video, but it's a secret confidential list that top banks and financial companies like MasterCard and Visa use to monitor risky merchants. Imagine it.
So why don't they just, I mean, like, can't you just use that as evidence for an antitrust lawsuit and then just do this? Because in my opinion, like, the big problem that I think we have with a lot of these people doing stuff like this is that they get away with it. That's the big issue. It's that they get away with it, and not only do they get away with it, but in the limited times that they don't, all they get is a fine. That's the problem. Not framing the game as illegal. The games are illegal in Australia. They wanted illegal games to not be sold in Australia. Well, that's up to Steam.
It as a big red flag or a warning telling other banks not to work
That's
with
the
Valve.
government.
Although the match
Yeah,
list
that's the government's decision. It's not their decision.
database is kept extremely private, the fact a bank has terminated service with Valve means they are
Absolutely.
highly likely to be on this blacklist. After
Yeah,
their
they should make these blacklists illegal. It's obvious cartel behavior. Everybody knows it. They'll regret using their real names, too.
Yeah, look at these, all middle-aged Karens. Because they became the thing that everyone hated next to pirate software. I never really paid attention to the whole pirate software thing, so I'm still kind of in. All I know is that it all started because of hardcore World of Warcraft.
I think that they already have.
Collective Shout couldn't stop talking about the situation. You'd think a group that got what it wanted would move on to bigger things.
Yeah.
But of course, this group doesn't actually care about protecting anyone other than removing content they don't like. To defend their actions, Collective Shout has been trying to paint these games as highly illegal to larger organizations that have little understanding of gaming, like a United Nations Special Rapporteur. A UN rapporteur are independent human rights experts who simply investigate and advise on issues. The fact that Collective Shout is trying to get
Another Karen apparatus, by the way. It's like a Russian nesting doll of groups of Karens trying to stop people from doing things that they disagree with. What a pathetic state of things to be in, huh?
It's they look the same. What the fuck? The thing I don't. I think this is also fucking stupid. And I agree with him. It's like a nesting. It's like a Russian nesting doll of fucking Karen groups. All these Karen groups are trying with every ounce of their being to put down anything that they don't like, that they find offensive, that they find would hurt their feelings, because they want to live in a world that's better for them and not the community at large. All they care about is how they feel on it. They just it's groups like this that need to be shut down and just never need to go be made by anything ever again. I can't stand people like this because they have a stick so far up their ass that you can put your hand in their mouth and pull the stick out from their throat. And you take that stick, throw it in their face, and he'd say, "Here, smell your own shit," and they would say it smells like roses. These people make society worse. They don't make it better. They don't do anything to improve society. They're just annoying.
What the fuck is a human rights expert? It's a call to Karen. That's it.
They're basically annoying social justice warriors. That's all they are.
on their side shows they're actively working to legitimize their claims.
Let's make a group against this group because they hurt my feelings and made me lose around $67 in good games. Then we're going to have to make a group against that group, which is against that group, which is against this group and that group. And so it's a never-ending cycle.
To a wider non-gaming audience. And now they found a partner in a report from a group called the Online Hate Prevention Institute.
Of course.
This report, which sides with Collective Shout, is just saying why they think this censorship is so good and framing the pushback from gamers as a hateful, misogynistic campaign. But
be careful what you wish for, because you might actually, in fact, be right.
The most interesting part is when you reach the
See, look, I think the censorship in some things is fine. It's okay, you know, to censor some things from kids. That's fine. I'm fine with that. But not everything in life needs to be censored. And if you want to try and keep it from kids, the number one thing is you have to, as a parent and as an adult, prevent your child from seeing this shit. That's where it starts. If you can't prevent your child from seeing this shit, you're not doing a good job as a parent. Stop trying to fucking censor everything because you don't agree with it.
bottom conclusion. The Online Hate Prevention Institute has been shocked by both the extreme nature and volume of the content we have seen attacking Collective Shout.
I think this is going to be the big difference between like what happened in 2014 and what happened now, what's happening now, is that I think that a lot of the emotional manipulation doesn't work anymore. And what happens now is that I think a lot of people are like, if you want to be the victim, good, I'm going to make you the victim. Like that's the way that I think a lot of people on the internet think now. Whereas back in the gamer,
yeah, it's something my parents have told me sometimes, you know, after I was when I was in high school. It's like, if you want to act like a child, I'm going to treat you like a child. It's how these people are acting. They're acting like victims. They're putting on the victimhood complex when there's no logical reason to be acting like a victim, because there's nothing that has victimized you. Now people are starting to get into their head. They're starting to wake up. They're starting to get very sick of these Karens and this victimhood mentality. And people are starting to slowly realize that if they want to act like a fucking victim, if they want to act like a fucking child, they're going to treat them as such until they learn to grow up, you know, develop their fucking brain and act like a civilized adult that actually, you know, has some logical thinking, critical thinking to their brain. So if they want to keep acting like the victim, keep acting like a 5-year-old fucking child who throws a tantrum every goddamn 2 minutes, then that's how we're going to fucking treat them. And if they don't like it, well, stop acting like it. Act like a respectable adult, and we'll try to start treating you as such.
Gate days, it was much more about winning the argument, explaining to people why they're wrong. I think that's changed. I think people are tired of playing nice, and that's why these people are getting harassed. People are fed up with giving into this bullshit. They are. Yeah, you want to be a victim? All right.
I know I'm asking for too much, but I can probably guarantee you, and at the very least, within 5 to 10 years, these people are going to start realizing that they can't push to get their way anymore, because they'll realize that they have pushed a bit too far, and now it's going to come bite them in the ass, and they're going to get that shit right back at them. So I can probably think with 5 to 10 years, this shit is going to come full circle.
Who work there and those that serve on its board of directors.
Give them reason to cry wolf. Yep, definitely. No more talking, just action. Exactly. And I think also, like, there's no limiter for that either. Like, once guys on the internet realize that they can do this and it works, oh bro, then like it's just they're gonna go crazy.
The connect comes from accounts across multiple platforms. In some cases, new throwaway accounts have been created in an effort to anonymously post threats while trying to avoid any
Pandora's box gets
consequences.
open, yeah.
These are serious cases of cyber harassment, and there needs to be government responses, including international cooperation between law.
People say is Zelensky speaking? Is that true? Let me go back. I'm going to see if that's actually accurate. Because if it is, I will watch this. Now, it looks like it's not true. Yeah, I don't know where that came from. Yeah, I got confused.
He has about as many tabs open as I do. Let me see. How many windows do I have open? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 7 windows open. I have like maybe 50 tabs open, 50 plus tabs open. And like I said, I have 7 windows. I have too much open. And he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. He has about 29 tabs open on one window. My computer's running fine. That is from, what is that called again? Toon God, free manhwa online. It's one of those ads that are in this manhwa site that just tries to advertise porn to you. I go to Toon God and what's the other one I have? Manhwa Plus. Because one is the Chinese one and the other one is the Korean one. Both of them are not on the same site, so I have to go to Toon God for one and Manhwa Plus for the other. Sadly, all of them have at least 1 or 2 advertisement boxes that are for porn ads. It's annoying, but I can't do anything about it because it's their site. I can't turn them off. I know. The one that has the most of those porn ads is Toon God. Because it also has the 18 plus manhwas. But yeah, if you want to read any manhwas or anything, I suggest Manhwa Plus. I can't remember if it's .org. Hang on, I'm gonna have to do this just so it doesn't show up on screen again. Manhwa's manhwaus.com. There's also manhwaplus.org and toongod.org.
Law enforcement agencies. Threats of death and rape are not free speech, not even in the United States, where some of the trolls clearly come from. We're not talking about your local police. We're talking about agencies that deal with serious international crimes. They're asking for help from organizations like Interpol. It's crucial to understand that Interpol isn't a police force that would directly arrest you.
No.
Instead, it's a network that communicates between different countries' police. It would allow an Australian police force, like the Australian Federal Police, to coordinate with agencies in other countries like the FBI in the US to track down and investigate people. So Collective Shout's allies want to use laws.
Don't worry, I'm going to edit all that stuff out anyways. That entire spiel we went on with the manhwas and stuff, I'm going to edit that out post stream. So we won't have to worry about it. And the first time it showed up on stream, I'm going to edit that part out too. So when I post it on YouTube, you won't have to worry about any of that stuff actually being on here.
That were designed to fight cybercrime like harassment, threats, and defamation, to go after gamers who simply just don't want their games.
What they want to do is that they want to be able to create a self-appointed government apparatus that they're in control of, and they also don't want anybody to be able to push back against them. That's, I think, the big thing that's going on right now, is that they want to be able to control and tell everybody else what to do, but they don't want anybody else to be able to say shut up.
Censored and controlled by people who have
Yeah, like expecting that, you trying to do that is basically trying to move an entire mountain with one person. It's not going to happen. You can't control what people say on the internet. You can't control what people do on the internet, what they post on the internet. You just can't. It's a virtually impossible task to do. And trying to censor or stop anybody, it's also going against free speech, at least here in the United States. I don't know of free speech anywhere else in the world.
never played a video game in their life.
That's what it is.
And while no one should accept threats of violence,
well, even if they did play video games, it doesn't matter.
Of people have found that Collective Shout has been faking threats against themselves to gain sympathy and get donations. They genuinely think that if they just say the games are illegal and anyone who speaks up against them is misogynistic or a rapist, that it will just make everyone agree and listen to them. Remember, like Valve has said,
this isn't 2014 with Gamergate. Gamers at this point, and I think people on the internet, especially young guys, have no problem being the villains. If you're saying that you're getting bullied and you're getting harassed and it's scaring you, they're going to say good. The age of, again, and the reason why that's happened is because you have made any degree of productive conversation and reasonable discourse impossible.
Yeah, it's like nobody can have a civil conversation anymore. Nobody can have a civil discussion, because anytime anybody has a discussion and they find out during that discussion that the person that's talking to them instantly disagrees or doesn't align with their point of view, they shout them down. They try and yell over them. They try to do anything they can to make sure that their point of view is right and what the person disagreeing with them is just, silenced. Nobody can have a civil discussion. Nobody can appreciate any. It's just they will try, but the problem is that you will bring yourself to the light. The same rule will be applied to you, and that will be the problem. Because if you fail, you will burn. You will burn in the cross. Yeah. So, I want everybody to be able to have constructive criticism. To have a constructive, platform where they can have a discussion with each other. And you have to respect that not everybody's going to have the same point of view as you. Not everybody's going to agree with you. There are going to be people who are going to disagree with you. And you need to learn to have an actual civil discussion, a civil debate with that person, and understand their point of view and say, hey, I don't necessarily agree with this. Here's my discussion. Here's my point on this. And, just try to come to an understanding or just have a civil debate. These people can't do that because they just, nobody can have a discussion anymore. Nobody can do it. Not a singular person can. They're all children.
That's it. Good, maybe cry louder. Yeah, exactly. That's what's going to happen.
They were targeting were legal and fit inside their original
capitulation
policies.
is over. It's
So it
totally
genuinely
over.
seems like Collective Shout may actually start to work with police to pursue criminal charges against gamers. Collective Shout is straight
There's
up
people in Serbia that are doing this, people in China that are doing this, in Russia that are doing this. Nobody's going to get arrested over this. Maybe one person's going to get arrested. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. You're not going to call the internet police and try to backtrace everybody on 4chan that's, harassing you on the internet. It's just not real.
Into a space that's not theirs, trying to control it, and they don't want anyone to speak up against it. They got cooked so hard they had to private their X account, which is most likely why they had to start begging for donations, as they were starting to look bad for their supporters.
That's
so let
right.
that all sink in. A group is trying to get international police involved. They want law enforcement to target people who oppose them. Although Collective Shout tries to act like the victims, this campaign has already directly affected thousands of developers, many of them small small independent creators who lost their income overnight. Luckily, Valve is on their side, but that still doesn't change the fact that their previous work
Well, Valve isn't on their side. Valve is just simply doing what they need to do in order to make their business viable. I don't think they're really on anybody's side.
removed. So Collective Show is
Yeah, they don't
directly
really care.
responsible for inflicting financial damage on thousands of people. Because Collective Show is an Australian group, these developers could group together and file a class action lawsuit against them for economical damages.
Yeah,
Their
they should.
most
That
likely
would be
path
funny.
to a win would be in an Australian court, as US courts would have difficulty claiming jurisdiction over an Australian organizations for actions that launched overseas. This is just a thought for all the game developers who are affected, as these power-hungry people won't stop until they face consequences.
That's right. That's true. Then they'll never stop. Because again, if they stop, then they lose their power. That's the reason why. So if they're never going to stop, they're never going to run out of things to complain about. There's always going to be something else that's worse. They will never stop because that's their entire life.
It'll
Bro, if they charge me for game crimes, certain Australian painter will look like a novice and a newborn baby besides me and some... And charge me for game crimes. Well, you're gonna have to charge me for a lot of them because I've caused genocide in some of those games.
So won't just stop here. According to MasterCard's rules, any game with non-consensual mutilation could be hit, and since Steam is now forced to follow their rules, this means nearly every top game could get removed. By not fighting
Well,
back,
that's not
we are
gonna happen.
allowing a small
yeah,
group
no.
to dictate what is acceptable for an entire
Yep.
global community.
That's correct. It's completely correct. And I think everybody should push back about this as much as possible. I mean, I don't advocate for harassment. Like, this is my viewpoint is that, like, I don't feel bad whenever these people get harassed, even if it's something that's really bad, because you shouldn't have done it. You should not have inserted yourself into other people's lives and tried to push them around and bully them around and then make them do what you want them to do. You should have never done it. If you didn't want this to happen, you shouldn't have stepped into the arena. Get out of the arena. Stop pushing people in different directions.
It's like somebody complaining that... Alright, let's put it this way. It's like a bully is slapping around somebody, and then as soon as they get slapped back, they instantly cry and bitch and moan that, oh my god, they hit me. They hit me. Well, you're the one that kept pushing the person's buttons. Did you think that they would never retaliate? You insert yourself into people's lives. You try and push down their livelihood. You try and just do all these sort of things to disrupt the daily lives of people and of society. You can't just keep doing that and never expect them to push back. And as soon as they push back, you can't complain because you're the one that kept pushing them first. Actions have consequences. You you have to be smart about this.
That's the real problem.
Has signed an
Yeah,
executive
fuck
order
around
that
and find
is meant
out.
to stop banks from debanking or denying financial services for
What the hell? What is Triple H doing there? Is that Triple H? This looks like right here. This looks like Triple H from WWE.
political
Triple
or
H.
reputational risk reasons. So if it is
What the fuck is Triple H doing there? Why is he there? Why is he there? Come on now. Why is he there in the White House?
lawful activity, they can't deny it, which is what's happening exactly here. While this executive order is a big step, it's not a full law just yet, and won't help everyone around the world. Now, regardless of how long it takes, I wouldn't be surprised if Valve comes out with a solution so they no longer have to be dependent on these large financial companies.
That's
Make sure-
probably what they're going to do. I mean, like, they're not stupid. I mean, they can see that this is obviously a problem, and the real solution for it will be creating a separate payment system to completely subvert that. So they attack us gamers, calling us ists and phobes while celebrating ruining our hobby, and then they get upset, and then whenever we get upset and then claim harassment, odd how that works. Well, that's the problem. And I think, again, people's goodwill towards
Not even he
these
knows why.
people is gone. Like, there's no goodwill left. There are only, like, the low road has been chosen, and
just
gamers
spawned.
will meet you there. And so will the collective greater population of the internet. That's what's happened.
You support the developers.
Guy's got to be in
speak
his
out
like.
against this kind of
Triple H
censorship,
has got to be
whatever
like in
you
his
do,
50s
don't
now.
let them win.
No, I don't think that
AI
anybody
ads,
will.
it's so-
And that definitely
You're a
won't happen. Imagine Elon stepping in with X payments to restore gaming. I mean, I think it's a big problem for everybody. And we're speaking in Russian right now. I see. Yeah, I'll probably watch like maybe a translated version of that later on. Probably not right now. Exactly, perfectly said. Fuck them. Yeah, no, I think so. And this is just really what's been happening with a lot of with a lot of things, is that things get censored and they get changed, and I think people are just tired of having these very small interest groups that don't represent the actual population of people that are consuming this content, that are exercising their power in order to take people's stuff away from them. I just think that in general nobody likes that. And so now they're getting harassed and they're getting bullied, and you know, this is obviously not good, making threats at people, but
Holy crap. It shows that he has 255 notifications on YouTube. Damn, that's a lot.
you would have never had this happen if you didn't start trying to push people around. If you don't want people to push back, don't push them. Stop. And this is the big problem that I think these people have. And this is the same thing. Do you remember that girl the other day that was like making like all the
Yeah, if you don't want to find out, don't fuck around. That's the thing. If you don't want shit happening to you, if you don't want, you know, it's like the golden rule: do unto others as they would do unto you. If you want to get treated with kindness and respect, treat others with kindness and respect. If you're going to treat them like if you're going to be an asshole and treat them like a child, like they're ignorant of the world around them, don't be surprised when you get the same exact treatment right back at you.
those negative, like, is her account still on private? Yeah, maybe your account's still on private. I have no idea. Yeah, her account's still on private. So you had no problem talking shit and saying negative stuff about me, but the moment that things turn around, well, now you're the victim. Now you're protected. Now you don't want anybody to have it. By the way, I'm not sorry about any of this, and I don't think anybody that's doing this stuff to collective shout is sorry either. I don't think that they care. They don't care about being right. They don't care about being on the, you know, moral side of it.
Yeah.
They just care about creating a punishment situation that is so unpleasant for the people that are trying to bully them and push them around that it makes them not want to do it. And that's where we've arrived at. And we've arrived there because normal and reasonable conversation has been, it's been totally misrepresented as misogyny. Like, that's what happened with Gamergate. People had problems with the way that video game reviews were, and then suddenly they're being called like racists or something.
Yeah. Lovely how they want to fuck with gamers. I think the gaming community is like one of the communities you don't really want to fuck with. Well, that is the end of this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please make sure to give a like and subscribe. I post videos 3 to 5 days a week here. I also post videos over on my other channel for gaming as well. So please make sure to give that a look-see. See if you enjoy that as well. I also stream anywhere from 3 to 5 days a week as well. Links to all my social medias will be on my YouTube page. And with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.